Welcome back to another video, ladies and gentlemen, sending out a lot of love. This is a video by The Rubber. So this was sent to me. I love the SCPs. I haven't watched anything SCP related for a while, but it's funny that recently I checked out the back rooms, because isn't the back rooms an SCP or not an SCP? No, but I think it could be an SCP. I can't remember, but there was like a point in time, like a year ago, maybe 2-ish years ago, where me and my bro's cousin, but he's also a bro too, bro chachos, bro. But we were talking about SCPs like every night. Just I don't know why, but we were talking about more of the mainly known ones and talking about them in real scenarios. My favorite one, but I can't remember the number, is the Infinite IKEA store with those like the store employees that become like feral at nighttime. And there's actually a Roblox game. Yes, I said Roblox. Yes, I'm a 21-year-old male that plays Roblox. Nah. No, but in all seriousness, there's like a developer that made, like a little Roblox developer that made a cool SCP game. And honestly, I know there's been other SCP games made off of Roblox of the like Infinite IKEA. And I think that's like my favorite one. I don't know. There's some really creepy thing about being trapped, not in the Infinite IKEA, but like in a never-ending store. Is that what it is? Is it a never-ending store? I can't remember. But yeah, nonetheless, this got sent to me. Not deer, and the thumbnail looked like a Wendigo. And funny enough, I covered a Wendigo video just like yesterday. But yeah, let's just go. Shout out to The Rubber. Like I said, if any YouTuber ever wants me to take down my video, I do not mind. So let us commence.
Discretion is advised. The deer contained within the cell stirred as it regained consciousness from heavy sedation. Cryptozoology specialist Oz stood in front of a large one-way glass window at the
He looks like he is tweaking.
Side of the room. Subject has regained consciousness. Beginning interview with 6448. The deer suddenly bolted upright and stared at the intercom. It stood facing away from the window. Suddenly, its neck swiveled 180 degrees with an audible crack, visibly breaking multiple vertebrae. Christ almighty, I thought you said this was one way. The deer's gaze remained locked on Oz. It didn't blink. Okay.
I was just about to say, they need to teach these SCP like Foundation members some meditation techniques or some freaking Demon Slayer sound breathing because of Tengen, but breathing techniques.
Are you something imitating deer? The deer opened its mouth, baring its sharp teeth. Its jaw moved in a manner that seemed to imitate speech. As its movement went against how the mouth of a deer usually would, some of the muscle got twisted and torn. However, no intelligible dialect was uttered, rather a sound similar to gagging. It then blinked for the first time in the interview, but the movement appeared noticeably forced. The deer screamed in Oz's distorted voice and collapsed. Its body contorted violently and began writhing. Then it got back up and rammed against the window repeatedly. Get the stags in here now. Hello everybody, I'm The Rubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-6448. SCP-6448, also known as Not Deer, is an anomalous branch of the deer animal. All members of this group of deer display heightened intelligence and are presumed to be sapient. Most specimens exhibit some form of physical malformation, causing them to stand out from the non-anomalous ones. While the exact details of their physical abnormalities differ between instances, commonalities include legs that bend backwards, bloated abdomen, emaciation, having eyes belonging to other animals and sometimes humans, forward-facing eyes, jerky movements, lack of fear towards humans, tendency to walk on two hind legs, and general body disfigurements. Aside from physical deformations, instances show severe divergence from the behavior of other deer. Namely, 6448 are known to watch, observe, and stalk humans.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks like this one is observing and stalking a straight serial killer. Do you see the design on this man?
Namely, 6448
That's
are
supposed
known
to
to
represent
watch,
a human.
observe, and stalk humans, often for hours or days on end. This includes following humans to and from their homes, wherein they will proceed to steal belongings, weapons, and food. Very rarely will they attack victims while they are indoors. 6448 is most commonly encountered in deep woodlands, particularly at night or dusk when a person is alone. Any form of direct acknowledgement of 6448's anomalous traits in these situations will always result in the victim's termination.
I'm glad. You know why? Mind your business. Mind your business. What are you doing walking alone at this time of night? And then taking pictures of some weird shit you see in the forest. I'm minding my business. Everyone knows this about horror. You just pretend you don't see it. And it's just not real. It's just not real. You know? It's like I'm in my room recording this video. Technically, everything outside of this room is not real. If I was just to blow up right now and die, that would be my last thought. Was reality even real? I was just in this room and there's nothing outside of it was real but the contents of this room. No? Hey, I'm just saying. But
if you notice a deer that just looks off, look away and ignore it.
Exactly.
If it knows that you've noticed it, then it's too late. If you hear your name or whistling or something else in the woods calling for you, don't acknowledge it.
It's literally like a
Never
Wendigo.
acknowledge its existence. Don't respond. Don't go looking for it.
This is
and
universal.
don't call out
This
to
is
it.
universal.
If you're walking at night and you feel something breathing on your neck or whispering just behind you and the hairs on your neck stand up,
Why are you
do
walking
not
in the forest
turn
at night?
around. You do not change the pace at which you're walking. You continue.
Wait, okay, shout out to my forest night walkers. Are there actually some of you that go out and enjoy your walk at night? I want to know that. Do you like actually take like brisk forest walks? Is that calming and peaceful?
You ignore. If one's
I
onto
go on
you,
walks at night.
well, you
I'm
better
pretty
hope
sure
it
there's
ignores you
SCPs for
too.
that.
Schofield scoffed at the cryptic warning on the fence. I've been in the Foundation for 3 years. I've seen things, from some weird refrigerator to a mighty dragon. What's a little deer gonna do? He pushed past the opening and entered the cabin. Jackson followed vigilantly behind. No, seriously, this is a waste of time. What the hell are we doing in some woods in the middle of nowhere? Careful,
leave.
Schofield. A civilian was killed by it according to the reports, and it wasn't the first time either. We're here to investigate, and if necessary, terminate the anomaly. Schofield cocked his rifle and
it
put
be
it on the
killed?
desk.
Yeah.
He then handed his pistol to Jackson. Don't have to tell me what to do. This is just like the hunting trip I used to go on with my dad. Here, have my pistol if you're so scared. Schofield, I'd prefer if you'd take this more seriously. Schofield walked out of the cabin and
Without
scanned
his
his
rifle?
surroundings. He could see some woodland critters and some deer in the distance. Well, I guess this is a nice change of scenery. I'm due for a break anyway.
Bro, get your gun.
Look, I've brought some incident reports with us. Just look through them if you have the time. Yeah,
He's just
yeah.
not going to, is he?
Nothing happened during the first few nights.
It seems like they hire literally the worst. I love how in the SCP Foundation universe, or like, I'm pretty sure, well, like, the Rubber makes like these stories up, right? Or they're like written. You like, cause you can make your own SCP basically, right? And then write the story behind it. So like, I love how in, just in the universe where SCPs exist, going off of this video, they technically exist in our universe in a funny way, in like a sub-pocket dimension, like a little, okay, never mind, I'm not gonna get all deep, but I just love how the people who literally see the craziest shit, like this man seen a dragon, he is literally just kind of just whatever about his job when there's like SCPs that can literally obliterate you by even thinking about them. Like, I'm pretty sure there are. I can't remember too many SCPs by now, but like, I love how he's just so nonchalantly like stretching and like, oh, whatever, this is a waste of time. I'm like, bro, if I worked for the SCP Foundation, I would be reading every little file I could before, like, okay, yeah, give me the, is it the debrief or the briefing on everything?
However, on the 5th day, the cabin had a break-in. They watched the footage of the surveillance camera and
Can it
saw a
notice
deer
you through it?
smashing through the door.
Through it like
It looked around at first and then at the camera. It stood up on its hind legs and reached towards the camera. Its frontal hooves had been warped to resemble fingers. We slept through all of that? How did we not hear the door?
Yeah, that doesn't make
I'll
sense.
stay up and keep watch tonight. Rest easy, Jackson.
Literally.
If I see that thing, I'll make sure that it's dead. That night, Schofield heard his name.
Literally, and I think I should sit up closer to the mic because I think it won't pick it up on the audio. But literally, I'm going to lean a little bit back. Literally, how did he not hear the door? How did both of them not hear the door? Y'all got the worst trained people out on this mission, man.
Being called faintly from outside the cabin. It was like a scream in a voice he didn't recognize. He grabbed his rifle and ran out immediately.
He's just going for it?
Come on out now. Enough games. I know your tricks, and it won't fool me. He saw a deer, noticeably larger, standing still among the bushes under the moonlight.
That looks like
He
a rifle.
fired a shot in its direction and missed. Damn it. He loaded the next round and took aim, but the deer was all...
It's got one in the clip. What kind of gun? Doesn't this gun have like a full magazine?
already gone. Jackson came running behind him. Schofield, what are you doing out here? What's going on? I saw the deer. Probably scared it away, though. If I see it again, let's go. As they turned to leave, Jackson glanced at the woods and shuddered when he saw two eyes glowing in the dark, staring at them. The next day, Schofield woke up to find Jackson missing. He looked out the cabin, and it started raining.
Oh, don't tell me this. Why wouldn't it have taken the other guy? Maybe they're intelligent, right? So, I mean, maybe because he blasted a shot at it? But he only saw two glowing eyes. Maybe it came back for him and it took the other guy. But they're intelligent, so he would probably discern that the guy that one... He actually seen it, so the only thing I could think of is, wouldn't it just come back looking for the same guy it seen? But I guess if you both acknowledge each other, damn, I would have just never turned around.
Probably went out to retrieve the camera. Took my rifle, too. Bored, he recalled Jackson mentioning the case reports. He opened the envelope and found a tape inside. It was a recorded footage taken by a woman. The video began with a woman rustling the camera. Visibly shaken, she struggled to set it up on the table. Schofield paused and looked around the cabin. Wait a minute. Is that here? The woman jumped when she heard a knock on the door. She slowly moved further away from it as the knocking became more violent. The handle was being jostled and shaken incessantly. A voice on the...
I don't like when horror movies do this either, but like, so you're telling me they're doing this. Ready? Let me show you. You're telling me they're like this. They're under the door right now, jiggling the handle like this. I don't believe that one bit. Big brawlic deer on the other side of the door.
The other side repeated the phrase, "Hello, it is me. Hello, let me in a calm manner as the door shook.
That's a different SCP.
The woman then grabbed a gun and retreated to the wardrobe. The knocking ceased, and footsteps could be heard becoming further away. Shortly after, sound of galloping was audible as a deer busted in through the door. Its jaw moved and repeated the phrase once more. "Hello, it is me. Hello, let me in." The deer stood on its hind legs. Its movements were crooked and stiff. Then, it slouched down to a quadrupeded position like a spider and surveyed the cabin. It inhaled heavily, and suddenly, its head locked in on the direction of the wardrobe that the woman had taken refuge in. It scampered towards the wardrobe and forcefully opened it. The woman screamed and fired a single shot, but was immediately pummeled to death by the abomination. The entity remained still for a moment, then looked towards the camera. Oh my God, are those human eyes? Schofield slowly walked towards the wardrobe and opened it, but it had already been cleaned before they got there. Just then, he received a mail on his tablet. It was yet another footage sent by the Foundation. The message read, "Just so you know what you're dealing with there, stay vigilant and good luck." The footage began with researcher Oz conducting an interview with what looked like a deer in a containment cell. Schofield became increasingly irate as the interview went on. "What do you mean, know what you're dealing with? It's a deer! A deer! So what?"
Sorry for the long pause. My dude did not just see the woman get beaten to death by the deer. It's just a deer. I don't care if he's doing this for confidence, bro. You could just literally say, you could switch the whole mood and be like, okay, well, let's go then. I got my guns ready. If this deer wants to box, finish. That could be your confidence. Not like, so what if it can stand up? That makes it just seem like you just ignored all.
What if it can stand up and crawl around like a spider? It's nothing but a deer.
Is he just ignoring?
Suddenly, a mass of black, viscous tendrils erupted out of the deer's sides.
Oh, it's an eldritch
It leaped
deer.
and squirmed around the cell before shattering the window. The remaining carcass was left entirely hollow. The black mass maneuvered swiftly out of the facility and disappeared into the outside shrubbery, wounding and killing multiple Foundation personnel along the way. What the hell is this thing? No, Jackson. Schofield grabbed the pistol and rushed out of the cabin. Jackson! Jackson!
Bro.
Where are you? Answer me! Schofield called
dude
as he
makes the
ventured
best
deeper into the
decisions.
woods. Soon enough, his surroundings became darker as the vegetation got denser.
He thought
He
he
could
had
feel
dark
that
vision.
something was stalking him, watching him. Suddenly, he heard a voice calling his name. Schofield! Schofield! The voice repeated. Though distorted and faint, he could discern that it was trying to imitate Jackson's voice.
All right, I'll give him that. He could discern it was Jackson's voice. Okay. Okay.
Damn you! Stop messing with me and come out! He heard thumping sounds and leaves rustling from afar.
He better be the one to
Closing in on
survive
the
this,
sound,
bro, for
he
all
finally
the
found the
dumb-
source.
this-
A bloody deer with forward-bending legs and covered in viscera, running clumsily and ramming against a tree with incredible force, over and over again.
It wants to
Next
end
to the
madness.
tree was a mangled-up body of a man. Schofield recognized the uniform. It was Jackson's. What the hell? The not deer noticed Schofield and turned its attention towards him jerkily. Take this! Die! Die! Schofield unloaded his pistol and shot down the not deer, but still it writhed and shrieked in pain. As he turned to run, the entity lunged at him and pinned him down. Its deformed hooves pounded repeatedly on Schofield. He tried to defend himself against its onslaught, but couldn't. Suddenly, a mass of tendrils burst through its abdomen and continued to ravage him. Schofield stopped struggling. He was left barely breathing as the tendrils slowly tightened their grip around his body. Days later, their bodies were recovered in an unrecognizable state next to a hollowed-out deerskin. No traces of the tendrils were found. Remember to check out my new animation channel, The Rubber Talks, where I share my life story, thoughts, and opinions. Just click on the link in the description to enter the Rubber's world. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which SCP do you want to see in the next video, and why it is interesting? Let us know in the comment below. We will draw your story and share it with the world. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Please share it to your friends if you like this video.
Wow. I cannot lie. Whoever wrote this one, you wrote the SCP goated. That is crazy. What a twist with the black tendrils. Like if I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Good job on writing. That was cool. That was a cool SCP. It makes me want to design an SCP. Maybe I'll design one just for fun. But the black tendrils was a twist. I was like, oh no, it's an eldritch deer. But anytime I hear tendrils described alongside anything else. But other than that, we're gonna get off this deer. That dude, I'm assuming you're writing the scenarios too for the guy. Man, that dude was written in one of the like like dumbest horror movie people ever, man. That was this man, like, man, I don't know if his just sheer amount of nonchalantness and just not caring of how serious the situation was just purely a false sense of like a false ego. Like, it's like he was just trying to be fake confident. Like, he was trying to just not admit that he wasn't scared. Bro said, so what? It crawls around like a spider and stands up. Like, it didn't just beat the woman senseless inside of a cabinet. Cool. Yeah, alright. Much love, Moonlight. I will see you in the next one. I'm done.